Hi, I'm Brianna from Wisconsin, and I'm doing Vampire Kisses for my forensic/public speaking piece. I'm in a category called Prose, and you have a max of 8 minutes to present your piece. That's why there will be bits and pieces missing from Vampire Kisses. Have a good time enjoying it. In Vampire Kisses by Alan Schreiber, the main character is Goth. A goth is someone who wears black lipstick, nail polish, black clothes, and is obsessed with vampires. Raven, the main character, tells about her obsession with this other world and the struggle she has in her own. Vampire Kisses by Alan Schreiber. I was in gym class wearing black shirt, short, and combat boots instead of the required white on white and gym shoes. Really? What's the point? I thought. Does a white ensemble make a student a better athlete? Raven, I don't feel like sending you to the office today. Why don't you just give me a break for this once and wear what you're supposed to wear? Mr. Harris, the gym teacher, whined. It's my birthday. Maybe you could give me a break just this once? Becky and I giggled as we went off towards the bleachers where the rest of the class was waiting. Trevor Mitchell, my kindergarten nemesis, and his shuffling sidekick Matt Wells were close on our heels. They were perfectly calm, conservative, rich soccer snobs. They knew they were great looking, and it made me sick how cocky they were. Sweet 16, Trevor said, obviously having overheard my chat with Mr. Harris. How lovely, just right for love, don't you think, Matt? Yeah, dude, Matt agreed. But maybe there's a reason she doesn't wear white. White is for virgins, right, Raven? Hey, I'm not the one wearing white underwear now, am I? I asked. You're right, there's a reason I wear black. Maybe you're the one that ought to get out more often. Becky and I sat on the far end of the bleachers, leaving Trevor and Matt standing with the rest of the class. So how are you spending your birthday? Trevor shouted, sitting with the rest of the class, loud enough for everyone to hear. You and Farmer Becky, sitting at home on a Friday night, watching Friday the 13th, maybe placing some personal ads? 16-year-old, single white monster girl, 6 mate to bond with, for eternity. The whole class laughed. I didn't like it when Trevor teased me, but I liked it even less when he teased Becky. No, we were thinking of crashing Matt's party tonight, otherwise there won't be anyone interesting there. Everyone was shocked, and Becky rolled her eyes as if to say, What are you dragging me into now? We had never been to one of Matt's highly publicized parties. We were never invited, and we wouldn't have gone if we were. Or at least, I wouldn't. Sure, you and Igor can come. But remember, we drink beer, not blood. The whole class laughed again, and Trevor high-fived Matt. Becky and I arrived late and entered the party like we were movie stars entering a premiere. Or rather, I did. Poor Becky clung to my side like she was entering the dentist. Hey, sexy monster chick, a voice said behind me. It was Trevor. He was leaning up against the wall next to me, a can of Budweiser dangling from his hand. Does that only work for you at every party? He smiled a seductive smile. I've never kissed a girl with black lipstick before. You've never kissed a girl before, I said and walked past him. Trevor Mitchell had never touched me, much less kissed me, except when he bit me in kindergarten. The most I ever got was a thump on the head when I walked too close to him. He had to be drunk. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe he was just trying to mess with me. Are you scared of the dark, monster girl? The woods had so little light in it was hard to make out the red stripes on his sweater. No, I quite like it. He pushed me up against the tree and started kissing me for real. His hands were ever on me, on the tree. I've always wanted to kiss a vampire, he said, coming up for air. I've always wanted to kiss a Neanderthal. He laughed and went on kissing me. So does this mean we're going together? I asked. Now I was the one coming up for air. Yeah, whatever. Then we're going together. Yeah, you can watch me play soccer and I can watch you turn into a bat. He began softly biting me on the neck. I bet you like it like this, don't you, monster girl? My heart sank. Of course I didn't really want to be Trevor's girlfriend. It's not like he was Mars and I was Venus. We weren't even from the same universe. And I didn't like him really. I knew why he brought me out here. I knew what he wanted to do. And I knew who he was going to tell. And at the end of it all, he might win $10 from all of his betting buddies for getting the goth chick. I had hoped he was going to prove me wrong. Instead, he was proving me right. It was time to get down to business. Want to see why I don't wear white? "Wanna fly with me?" "Yeah." He smiled, sort of startled but very eager. "I bet you fly like Supergirl." I urged him over the picket fence into the woods. I could obviously see better than he. My nocturnal habits had always made me a great observer in the dark. Not as good as a cat, but close. I felt safe and secure with the beautiful moon now guiding me. I looked up and saw several bats fluttering over the trees. I'd never seen bats in Dellsville, but then again I didn't go to many parties. "I can't see," Trevor said, removing a branch from his hair. As we walked on, he flared his arms like he was going to hit something. Some people are violent drunks, some are slobbering drunks, but Trevor was a terrified drunk. He was really becoming quite unattractive. "Let's stop here," he said. "No, just a little bit further," I said, following the bats as they flew into the woods. It's my 16th birthday. I want this to be a night we'll never forget. We need total privacy." Trevor was completely blind in the darkness, feeling everything with his hands and lips. He kissed me all over my face and touched the small of my back. Even long it didn't take him to find the buttons on my shirt. "No, you first," I told him. I leaned him down slowly on the damp earth. I slid off his loafers and socks. He eagerly took off the rest. He lay propped up on his arms, completely naked. I stared down at him in the faint moonlight. How many girls had Mr. Borges laid out before them, only to be cast aside the next day? I wasn't going to be the first, and I wasn't going to be the last. I was just going to be different. "Hurry up, come over here," he said. "I'm cold." "I'll just be a minute. I don't want you to see me undress." "I can't see you. Can't even see my own hands." "Well, just hang on." I had Trevor Mitchell's clothes in my arms. I had his power, his mask. I had his whole life. What was a girl to do? This girl ran, the bats flew up too as if they were in sync with my movements. I quickly reached the house, emptying a trash bag half full of beer cans and stuffing in Trevor's clothes. I carried the bag into the house and grabbed a startled Becky by the arm. "Time to go," I said, pulling her away. "What's in the bag?" she asked. "Trash. What else?" I pushed her out the front door. I waited until we were halfway home before I turned to her with a huge grin and shouted, "I screwed Trevor Mitchell!" "You did what?" she shouted, almost swerving off the road. "With who?" "I screwed Trevor Mitchell." "You didn't. You couldn't. You wouldn't." "No, I mean figuratively. I screwed him so bad, Becky, and I have the clothes to prove it." And I pulled them out of the bag one by one. Somehow, Trevor would find his way out of the darkness, but he wouldn't have his rich threads to mask himself. He'd be naked, cold, alone, exposed for who he really was. I would remember my sweet 16th birthday for the rest of my life, and now Trevor Mitchell would too.